I used to dread thinking about taxes.
Familiar with the phrase, in this world nothing is certain but death and taxes?
Well, I am now.
But that changed once I learned how to reduce my tax bill legally and even get refunds back into my pocket. So today I want to share with you 6 things that you can do at the end of this year to reduce your tax bill or potentially even get a tax refund. And don't worry, these are simple and quick things that anyone can do. With this first tip, my husband and I managed to get a tax refund of over $8,000 last year. And this is really the easiest way to reduce your tax bill, which is to contribute to an RRSP. And to find out if the RRSP is the best option for you, make sure you watch this video later. Here's the thing, the key to reducing your tax bill is to reduce your taxable income as much as legally possible. Let's say your tax rate is 25%. I'm using this percentage just for simplicity. In reality, there are federal and provincial tax rates based on your tax brackets. That tax rate will apply to your taxable income. Deductions such as the basic personal amount and also RRSP contributions can lower your taxable income. If you contribute $10,000 to your RRSP and claim the deduction, your taxable income will be reduced by $10,000 to $50,000. So instead of paying the 25% on $60,000, now you only pay 25% on the $50,000, which is $2,500 less in taxes. The deadline for the RRSP contributions is end of February next year to reduce your tax bill in April. Anything you contribute March onwards will count towards next year's taxes. Money from your income and bonus, if any, is easily spent during the holidays, so it's a good idea to plan to put money aside to add to your RRSP. There are limits as to how much you can contribute, so make sure to check that first. Watch this video for more on the RRSP. And if you've never opened an RRSP before, you can easily do that completely online with just a few clicks using online investment platform. You can use any reputable one out there, but the one I've used the longest for my RRSP and TFSA is Simple. There are no account fees or trading fees, and it's just super easy to use. You can also get a $25 bonus if you use my affiliate link in the descriptions below. So the RRSP is a great option for people who are in a relatively high tax bracket because they can save more taxes now. And later when they retire or earn less, they're likely gonna be in a lower tax bracket. So when they withdraw the money at that time, less taxes will be due. But what if you're expecting to get into a higher tax bracket in the future? In that case, a TFSA might be a better option for you now. When you contribute to a TFSA and invest money in it, the amounts do not reduce your taxable income, but any investment income you make is tax-free. The amount of money you can contribute depends on your age, and each year on January 1st, your contribution room grows. There is no deadline for contributing to a TFSA. Any unused contribution room gets carried forward, but the sooner you contribute and invest the money, the faster your investments will grow and the more taxes you can save. If you invested in a non-registered account and realized $10,000 in capital gains, you would pay about $1,000 to $2,000 in taxes. As for withdrawing money from your TFSA, in case you need to do that for a dental treatment or other important things, it's best to do this before December 31st. When you take money out of your TFSA, your contribution room is not lost, but it will only be restored the next year. Say you've maxed out your TFSA contribution room of, let's say, $50,000. If you withdraw $5,000 on December 31st this year, your contribution room will be restored on January 1st. But if you withdraw money on January 1st, it will take a whole year, the next year, until it's restored again on January 1st the following year. So you can't reinvest that $5,000 for the whole year. If you want to learn more about the TFSA, watch this video later. Now, if you have money invested in non-registered accounts, you can save taxes through what's called tax loss harvesting. This is a method where you sell stocks that you no longer wanted anyway, maybe because they're underperforming, at a loss to offset profits from other stocks. You can use these losses to offset capital gains in any previous 3 years or even future gains. But to reduce your tax bill sooner and to offset the gains you made this year, you might want to realize those losses before December 31st this year. So let's say you realize $5,000 in capital gains from selling stock A. Normally, you'd have to pay taxes on these capital gains, but if your other stock B caused a loss of $5,000, these gains and losses cancel each other out and you can end up paying no taxes. That's why tax loss harvesting is irrelevant for registered accounts like the TFSA, as capital gains are not taxed anyways. But an important warning here. There's a rule called superficial loss intended to prevent people from exploiting this tax strategy. In short, in order to use a loss to offset gains, you cannot repurchase the same stock for at least 30 days. That being said, if you haven't started investing, make sure that you maximize tax advantage accounts like the TFSA, RRSP, and this next account we're going to talk about first, before investing in non-registered accounts. The next tax savings tip is to open an FHSA before the end of this year. It's an option that you'll be happy to have, and here's why. Money you save in your FHSA is tax deductible like with the RSP, but even better. After withdrawing the money for your home purchase, the maximum lifetime limit is $40,000 by the way, you don't need to pay it back, unlike with the RSP. But unlike the TFSA where your contribution room is just given, your FHSA participation room, which is the amount of money you can contribute to your account, will only start accumulating once you open your FHSA. Let's say you open your FHSA December this year. Your participation room will be $8,000. Then, in just a month in January next year, your participation room will grow by another $8,000 to $16,000. You will need to start contributing though, because the maximum unused participation room that you can carry forward to the next year is only $8,000. If you open your FHSA next year, then you'll have to wait another whole year to grow your participation room. And if you only open your FHSA a year or two before buying a home, then you only have a small amount to withdraw. So if you're planning to buy your first home in Canada soon, whether that's in 3 years or even if you just have a vague plan 5 to 10 years down the road, it's still a good idea to open an FHSA and start making small contributions. These will add towards reducing your tax bill. You have 15 years after which you'll have to use the funds to buy a home or withdraw the money. Another thing you can do to save taxes and get free money is to contribute to an RESP or Registered Education Savings Plan. This plan helps people save for their child's education after high school. You can also open an RESP for yourself as an adult, but there are less benefits and more restrictions. There are two main benefits here when you contribute to your child's RESP. The money put into an RESP can grow tax-free until it's used, and the government will match 20% of the first $2,500 contributed to the RESP under what's called the Canada Education Savings Grant. To maximize the savings here, contribute the full $2,500 each year to get $500 on top of it in your RESP. If you continue doing that over 14 years, you can get the lifetime maximum of $7,200 in grants. Technically, you can wait until next year to do this as unused CESG amounts can be carried forward, but if you can get the 20% match this year, why wait? Tip number 6 are charitable contributions. One more thing that you can do to minimize taxes while also doing a good thing is donating. Making charitable contributions this year end. If you contributed to a registered charity by December this year, you can likely get a tax credit for this tax year. And here's a table of the federal and provincial tax credits that you can get for donations. On a donation of $1,000, for example, you could get a federal tax credit of $262. And then there's also the provincial tax credit, for example, in Ontario, $99 on the same amount. Make sure that you're donating money to a registered charity and also get a tax receipt, or else you won't be able to claim any of those tax benefits. Combining all these tax saving methods can save you thousands of dollars. And it doesn't even take a lot of time to do this. If you want to save money on taxes and grow your wealth faster, start investing in tax advantage accounts as soon as possible. And again, you can easily do that on almost any investment platform in Canada nowadays. Just make sure you choose one that's low cost and that you can trust. If you want to use the one I use, well, simple, check out my link in the descriptions down below. By the way, let me know in the comments down below which of these tax saving tips is new to you and which do you find most useful. Also, if you want to find out more about how the TFSA, RSP, FHSA work, you can check out the videos in this playlist. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon in the next video.